Good morning. How are you all doing today? I am the Moon Mama, and today is Saturday. And Saturday is the day that Saturn rules. All right, y'all. So Saturn is the energy. Saturn is the energy that we often find ourselves resisting. At least I find that for myself. I can be very resistant. So I've been being very intentional since I came back from Egypt to be um, open to my Saturnial energy and how that energy impacts my life and my thinking and my way of being. Because Saturn is the energy that rules restrictions, that rules resistance, that rules discipline and structures. And so, one of the things that is important that I've discovered, right, because I have Saturn in the first house, and that's around my identity. And what I have discovered is that when I am being true to myself and doing what only I can do, the world sort of opens up for me. And when I'm focused too externally and I'm not being true to myself, the world closes off to me. Like I can't get more, I can't access as much energy. And it shows up for me easily around money, which is about value. And um, money is also connected to our work because one of the easiest ways we can access money, ener- energetic money in this reality, is through working, right? So if you provide a service, then you that's your work, and then you receive money. So I have noticed that my Saturnial energy will constrict my ability to access money unless I'm doing something that's true to my identity, true to who I am. Now, the thing that's really important for us to always know is that we live wherever we are in the world, but I'm in America. We live in a world that was constructed. This world is not really what the real world is. This is a world of systems and beliefs and practices and laws, and we've all adhered to it. We've all said yes to it, whether we've done so consciously or unconsciously. Just being born here makes us a part of this system. And the way this system was erected and the way that we participate in it, we can also build our own system. We don't have to build a whole country, but we can build a system that is our own identity. And we can become conscious of us building a system that is our identity, right? So it's like my identity will be based on the fact that I have the sun in the sixth house. The sun in the sixth house is the archetype of the healer. So that will be a part of my identity. So a part of the work and the way that I access money will come through work as a healer. And when I'm doing that, the reality opens up for me because I have Saturn in the first house, and Saturn in the first house demands that my identity be the structure of which I live upon. That I have to be really true and loyal to myself, that I have to know who I am, that I have to be devoted to my own ways of being and thinking. And the thing that is really important, like I said, this American system is a structure that was built, and we can build our own, and it requires that we be loyal to ourselves. It requires that we be able to shut out the world that says whatever it says. This is beauty, this is success, this is health, this is happiness, this is love, right? We shut the world out and we ask ourselves, what is my happiness? What is my success? Because otherwise, you'll be tuned into the frequency of what the world says it is, and you'll be pulled to that if you're a very sensitive, empathic person. But you need to turn all that off so that you can find your own levels of what is happiness for you, what is love for you, what is health for you, what is peace for you. What is power for you, right? You have to understand how it all applies to you, because you are an idea in the mind of God. And so there is a unique configuration of energies that make you up. And when you are loyal to that unique configuration, then the power of God can embody you in a conscious way and use you as a tool towards more of what is to come, which is an expanded reality, more people waking up, healing, greater sense of connection, oneness, all of that. But it has to happen through you. And it can only happen through you if you are conscious and aware of you and what you need and how you function. And so the sun is in Aries this month, and it's going to be there for probably, another 14 days or so. And what we have to do while the sun is in Aries is become really loyal to ourselves so that we can discover how we're growing, what we need to become to grow more, what needs to be released, how can we evolve, what are we here for? Like every year you have an opportunity to do that. And Saturn, today is a Saturn's day, and Saturn is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the mind of God. What it really means is it's the energy that we have not cultivated yet. That is what the mind of God is. Pure energy, just open energy that is waiting to be used. That is what Aquarius is. And that is always there. And so with Saturn and Aquarius, what we're doing is disciplining ourselves, because Saturn is discipline and structures. We're disciplining ourselves to cultivate and use the energy of the mind of God that is coming through us at this time. New ways of being, new thoughts, new processes, new choices, new people, new experiences, new feelings, like all new. And when we give ourselves permission to really be loyal to ourselves and be willing to turn off the world so that you can really get intimate with who you are, this new energy will lead you into greater experiences of happiness and joy and work and relationship and connection. It will lead you there through your loyalty to yourself, through your devotion to you becoming who only you can be. But you have to turn off the world for a little while, not forever. For a little while, you will need to turn the world off so that you can listen to your own divine direction. The moon today is in Aquarius, and it's at the first quarter phase. The first quarter phase is when it's time for us to do something new. It means, all right, we've hit a fork in the road. It's time for us to up level. So what is the new thing that you're willing to do? What is the new thing that you're willing to do towards your devotion for yourself? I know for me, I am literally stepping into like a deeper commitment with myself. If you've ever been in a relationship before and it started to feel like, what are we doing? I know as a woman, I've done that so many times, I don't do it anymore. I just think it's for me, it was the most disempowering thing ever. But because now I understand my astrology, I was the person who was determining what we were doing. So if I was waiting on them to tell me what we were doing, then they were like, if you don't know, I don't know, right? So, but we have these times in our life where we might start to feel lost and have a curiosity, like, what am I doing? What am I really up to? So for me this month, I'm really fine tuning and stepping more powerfully into myself as a leader, allowing myself to be a leader, allowing myself to really stand as people say, an expert, right? I'm an expert in assisting people in healing their bodies, minds, and spirits through the understanding of their astrology and rituals and practices. So I am stepping into that even more. You know what I mean? It's like I'm putting on my uniform this time. Like, but I had a job description, but now I'm like, okay, this is who I am. Let me put on my uniform. Let me get my outfit. Like I'm really stepping into my identity. So when the moon is at the first quarter phase and it's in Cancer, Cancer rules the home. It rules who you are, how you are at home inside of yourself. So with Saturn in Aquarius, the mind of God, so you have all this raw energy that's coming to you to the earth realm that for you to discipline Aries, the sun, your identity, literally what can you do to honor your identity and come home into yourself, into your authentic self, your true self, the self that God created you to be, not the one that your mother created or your father who needed somebody to make him happy or but the one that God created you to be. Not the one who you think if I don't do this, this person is gonna this and if I not that one. Not those. The one the one in you that the divine created you to be at this particular time on the planet at this time, which is like no other time on the planet. It's so important for you to really understand. I was talking to my girlfriend Tamika today, and I've been saying this a lot. It's important for us to understand. This is what I see in astrology, right? Your natal chart. Your natal chart is a configuration of the way the planets have expressed themselves and the universe is expressing itself, and it'll never be done again. Who you are will never, ever, ever come again. Who you are, the unique person that you are, is made out of the mind of God, and you will never have this chance again to be you. It will never be created again, ever. You are a GPS location of an identity in the mind of God, and that will never be done again. You have a responsibility to fulfill upon it. Because if you won't, you'll come back, but you won't be this configuration of who you are. So if you do it this time, get true to yourself, get loyal to yourself, get devoted to yourself, what you will produce is something that is a once in a lifetime experience. Your mind, your creations are something that will never come again. So be loyal to yourself. Do what only you can do. Be obedient to the voice within you that is calling you into your own greatness. Because if you don't, nobody else can. Nobody else can do what you can do. Nobody else. Can you believe that? Nobody else can do what you can do. And no one else will ever be like you. I mean, that's just fucking amazing to me. That's just mind blowing to me. So, today is the day that it is time for you to take a step towards your own evolution. Something. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a really small thing. It can be something as simple as I know last month I just looked at a picture of my little girl self every day and said, "What is it that you need and how can I support you? How can I support you in being true to yourself?" I just did that every day. Just do a small thing. Hey, Devin, it doesn't have to be a big thing. You can decide to maybe you need physical touch and you've been waiting to meet somebody and thinking, I need physical touch, I need a partner. And instead, you just decide to give yourself a body massage every day and give yourself the physical touch that you actually need. It is time for you to up level your relationship to yourself. You will not get a chance to do this again, ever, this way, because the configuration of the energies will never be this again. Next year, this time, when the sun comes into Aries, Saturn will not be in Aquarius. Saturn will be in Pisces. So this energy is unique. Do not fuck it off. Use it. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. I love you so very much. I got these really pretty flowers. Oh goodness, I started doing Reiki, and I'm doing Astro Reiki. It's so incredible, and tuning people's body with their astrology and their chakras, like the work that we can do now on the planet because we are starting to wake up is so fucking profound, and it's fun, and it's painful. I don't want to act like it's not painful because it is. But it's rewarding. It is rewarding. And so I just love all of us who are showing up at this time to be true to the call within us, to answer the divine, that you are God having a human experience. You are God having a human experience. And if you believe that, and when you believe it and live into it, when you understand that you're God having a human experience, then and you live into it, the miracles and the miraculous occurrings and the healings and the freedom that becomes available is profound. It is profound. And so I really encourage you to do the work, to care for yourself, to question yourself. What do I need? What would make me feel good? What is it that I'm feeling? How, what's moving through me? Does this serve me? Is this relationship good for me? Are these foods serving my body? Like, ask yourself the questions. And if you're not willing to ask, notice that you're not willing to ask. That just means you're not ready to change yet. And if you're not ready to change yet, that is okay. It is okay to not be ready to change, because when you start the process of changing, your whole life will come undone in beautiful ways. But if you're not ready, acknowledge that. I'm not ready yet. Okay. And it might come, okay, I'm not ready yet. But then one day you will feel the readiness and okay, now I'm ready. So I encourage you to ask the questions. What is it that I need? Do you need to be, take baths? Do you need just caring for yourself, massaging your scalp, putting oils on your body, eating healthy foods? Beginning to question your thoughts. Why am I thinking this? Is this thought serving me? Is this thought mine? My grandmother used to say this. That's why sometimes I hear myself, I'll see somebody and I might have a thought about their body or about their clothing or something. And I'll hear myself say, that's your grandma, because I don't give a fuck about what nobody's wearing. But my grandmother she was always talking about somebody. She was always criticizing people. And that voice is in my head. And so I literally have to, whose voice is this that's in my head? Question your thoughts. Sometimes you might not need to clean up your house. You might need to clean up your thinking, clean up your mind. And that is a really honorable thing to do with Saturn and Aquarius, because the mind of God and Saturn there is like, let's discipline your thinking, discipline your mind, discipline your perspective. Because here's the thing, what we think is who we are. Our perspective will create our reality. So if the reality that you're in is something that doesn't feel good, if your perspective is giving you experiences that are not aligned to what you deeply desire, begin to discipline your mind. Close down thought patterns. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to just close down this thought pattern of thinking that somebody did something to me. I'm going to just shut this motherfucker down. Bye. Burn it. Write it out. Release it. And then that energy gets to be resourced in another way. I'm going to stop thinking that I need to behave a certain way in order to have people feel connected to me or to be approved of. And shut that down. Just shut it down. And you'll notice it's a pattern because the brain creates pathways, right? So those thoughts will start looking for a place to go, but when they don't have a pathway to go, when you stop fueling them, the pathway that they run will start to dissolve and new pathways with new energy will start to come alive. Oh, I love myself. I did a great job. That's amazing. Look at how much I've done. I accomplished this. Oh, I'm so proud of the way that I'm talking to my children. I'm so happy about the way that I'm speaking to my body and loving myself. All those are creating new pathways. And so I encourage you to just be good to yourself and notice the voice inside of you that is not good to yourself and give her or him something else to do. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. Bye bye.